Welcome, everybody. Hey, welcome to the 𝤕𤄉𝐻WH radio show live from Warsaw, Poland. That's right. You heard me. I am in the studio live and well in my beautiful Warsaw, Poland. And I just want to say welcome again and welcome and welcome. It's hot outside and it's cool in here and welcome. So we have an exciting show today and it's 5 o'clock on the dot. Okay. We have a very exciting show today, a special guest. But first, before we kick things off, as always, I first want to give all praises, all honor, and all esteem to my Creator, Yahuwah, Yahweh, the Creator of the heavens, the earth, the seas, and all that is within them is Yahuwah alone created. And I thank my Creator for this special time, this special place on my journey right here and right now in Warsaw, Poland, to share with you a beautiful journey, to share with you exciting adventures, encouragement, to encourage you all. So praise Yah for that. And before we kick things off, I also want to say that my daughter and I are covenant keepers of Yah. We must make that known. And I want to give a love dedication to my family, my son and my daughters back in America, my grandchildren, my son's wife, my daughter-in-law, my grandchildren again, and my parents. I love you all. And I wish you much peace and much shalom wherever you are. So I just want to say also that we have a very special guest today and a beautiful brethren from America, Brother Soul. So we're going to welcome Brother Soul to the show today, and we're going to speak with him. And let's see if he can hear me, if he's nearby. Brother Soul, are you there?
Shalom, shalom.
All right, Brother Soul. Brother Soul is very special and dear to me. He's my brethren. He's the age of my son. He's like a son to me. He's looked out for my daughter and I on our journey, even made a phone call to the embassy when we had a little trouble down in, I think it was Tunisia back in 2023. Even when Brother Soul was in America and we were already out, Brother Soul would support our journey through prayers, keeping us in prayer, my children, supporting Olivia and I. If we needed a little help here and there, Brother Soul has always been there. I just want to say and make that known. Love dedication to Brother Soul. And also, I want to say this about Brother Soul. He is the one, Brother Soul right here is the one that said, 𝐕𝐄𝐄 or Leah, Sister Leah, I think you should do a podcast. You remember saying something like that to me, Brother Soul, a couple of years ago or not too long ago?
I got short-term memory, so
Yeah.
it kind of rings a bell. Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to remind me sometimes.
yeah, you said something like, 𝐕𝐄𝐄 or Sister Lee, I think you should do a podcast. Or you said something like that. I mean, it could have been like 2 years ago. I don't know, but it has come, it has manifested, and I just give all praises to Yah. So I want to get started here. And before we get into your journey, I'd like to start off, if you have anything to say beforehand, maybe, before we get started, you have anything to say, we just want to welcome you.
Nothing but all praise to the Most High YAHUWAH, Yah, the creator of heaven and earth, the Elohim, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Okay. Praise Yah. Okay, and I'd like to start off, Brother Soul, with your identity. People describe themselves in different ways, Black Americans, African Americans, Israelites, or something else. Brother Soul, how do you identify yourself, and why is that important to you?
I identify as a Hebrew,
Mm-hmm.
as a quote-unquote Israelite, as I say the children of Israel, or Yisrael, some would say. They
Mm-hmm.
from the tribes of Jacob. That's
Okay.
how I identify. And as a covenant keeper of the Most High. So
Yes.
keep his commandments, his laws, statutes, and commandments. As stated in Ecclesiastes 12:13, the whole duty of man or the whole man is fearing Yahweh or Yah and keeping his commandments.
Okay. Praise Yah. I can agree with you with that. And how did you come to that understanding or overstanding of your identity?
It's basically just like a series of revelations, a series of experiences since like December 2016. And just like a bunch of confluences, signs, messages, just a lot of things adding up, and then just spiritually, just resonating with everything, with the curses and just a lot of things, and just naturally just resonating, gravitating to the Creator and
Okay.
His commandments.
Okay. Question. When people hear the term, I know you said Israelite, they often have different impressions based on what they've heard, or what they've seen. Some think of groups, they see preaching on the streets in Americas, the corners, while others know very
Hmm.
little about it. How do you respond to those perceptions, and do they reflect your beliefs and the way you practice your faith, Brother Soul?
Okay, so my initial awakening to being a quote unquote Israelite back in like late 2017, basically. That was the what people call these camps in America, or they're actually spread out also everywhere else. They call the Black Hebrew Israelite, quote unquote.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
That was my initial awakening and belief. I was still believing in the New Testament and I was adopting their doctrines, which was closer to keeping the commandments of the Most High, but they also have their own man-made doctrines thrown in and mixed in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they're basically they're labeled as a hate group and a terrorist group actually. And a lot of the doctrines which I grew out of, which I came to realize there were a lot, like some they have some truth, but a lot of it's also lies. Like majority of it's lies, and they're focused on hatred
Mm.
and they're focused on racism. For the most part, most of them are focused on racism. So a lot of people hear the term Israelite and they'll associate you with a hate group or
Yes.
racist or stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't associate with those camps.
Mm-hmm.
The camps on the corners like IUIC and
Okay.
Sakari or all the other ones. Yeah, I don't associate or identify with their belief system because Isaiah 56 says a remnant basically of all nations will come to serve the Most High in His mountain.
Yes. Okay.
And all nations will come to cleave. A remnant of all nations. It says 10 men will cleave to the hem of a Jew and say, and they'll come with you because we heard that Elohim or God is with you. And
Mm.
also, they will say that they have inherited lies.
Mm.
And the understanding is the remnant of the earth will come to serve the Most High and then keep His commandments.
All right. Great job. With that being said, how would you like people to better understand your faith and identity?
It's basically as simple as just heeding to the words that the Creator said. I have no religion. I was raised Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Some would think because I claim to be an Israelite, they would think I'm in Judaism, but I'm not in that either. Nor, and I live in a Muslim country, but I'm not Islam. I don't identify with either any religion really.
Mm-hmm.
As simple as keeping the commandments that the Most High states. Is whatever comes out of His mouth and the words of His mouth through His prophets.
Mm-hmm.
What He says to do, that's what I do. What He says not to do, that's what I don't do.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever we can do in exile, because certain things you can do in exile only, and some you can only do in the land. Or yeah, stuff like that. So yeah,
Okay. So you were born and raised in America, correct?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Unfortunately, but
Yeah. Okay. So what state? Because people ask me that a lot outside of America. What state are you from?
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, okay. Baltimore, Maryland. Okay. And um,
Yeah,
I know you lived in Florida or something about Florida.
yeah. I stayed in Daytona since from we moved to Florida in 2005. So I was staying in Daytona for like 18, 19 years.
Okay. All right. Okay. So another question I just wanted to ask you is what led you, Brother Soul, to leave America? How long have you been out? And what was it that made you say, I gotta go? What led you to leave America?
Okay, so people, some people think I'm crazy with the experiences I say I had. So I'm not going to get into all the experiences when there's not enough time from like 2016 and 2022. But that coupled with this dream. So I had a dream. It was December 17th, 2023. And so there's this place, and I don't remember if I knew of it beforehand, but I was floating over this place called Passage of Eden. And when I woke up from my dream, I looked it up on the map, and it's actually a real park in South Daytona. If you Google Passage of Eden, it's a very small park. And I actually went over there and I saw Hebrew letters in the ground. I have the screenshots. So in the dream, I was floating over this place, this park called Passage of Eden. And in the ground, I saw this word KAWLAW. If I'm remembering correctly, kalal. So it's a Paleo Hebrew word, kalal, and I believe it's from Daniel 10:6, and the word relates to the polished bronze or polished brass that the man the man he saw in that vision or dream. So that was what it related to. And then these other words, this Hebrew word, and at the time I wasn't studying any Hebrew, but this Hebrew words sud na sa. So it was like the Hebrew letter, the Masoretic letter that makes the sound, an aleph and a dalet, and nun and aleph, and then the last word was a nun and an aleph.
Okay.
Sud na sa. So when I woke up from this dream, I was like, "What is that?" So I go to Google, and I go to the Hebrew to English translator. So I put the words in as I remember in the translator, and I even mixed them around just to make sure I had the right one. And what I first put in, and I had this on my YouTube page also, and I have the screenshots of it when I did it. So the first word "sud," when I put it in, it came to my name. It said Chad. And the second word and the third word, when I put the whole phrase, it said Chad, please leave. And so I mix it around. Like I tried not to make it. I tried to make it like I want to make sure it's not a coincidence.
Right.
So I mix it around, make sure I had the right thing. And the other way I put it, it still said basically the same thing. It's like, please leave. It just took my name out when I put it a different way. But either way, it was the same message, basically. Please leave.
Please leave.
So me not wanting to lean on my own understanding, like the other times when, I was in deep meditation, prayer with the Most High, and I was basically just asked to not be deceived or lean on my own heart. So I basically I just prayed. I was like, if this is not to be a coincidence, if this is a message for me to leave, just send me a sign. So I prayed for a sign. And within maybe 24 hours, I got 3 signs. And all 3 were from Morocco, basically. And I never thought, I've had a feeling to leave America. Like maybe in 2020, like at the time, way before this, like maybe 2026, 2028-ish. But that was when I was going to wait till I was like more established and like had at least like $100K in my pocket, or like maybe a $500,000 or something. And my plan was like a Torah community in some place. And I was thinking like Uganda or Ghana or something like that. Maybe even Chad. Because his name.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but I remember when we were in Egypt or South Sinai, and I said, Brother Chad, go to South Sinai or go to Egypt. I remember saying that to you. I can't remember how, but I remember that was one of the things that I did say to you.
Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah. So then after, so Morocco of all places, I didn't even really know anything about it. So I just looked into it. I started looking into it, and I was like, man, it's cheap. The cost of living is cheap over there. And the more I looked into it, the more things that it was like, yeah, this has to be it, because I started after I think after a year, or was it? I think in October last year, I found out, my boy actually pointed out that Morocco has 70% of the world's phosphate reserves, phosphate rock reserves, and you need phosphate to grow crops. So like global, if Morocco went off the map and 70% of Earth phosphate rock reserves went just disappeared, if Morocco got destroyed, the global food supply would basically suffer. So like the world needs Morocco. Wow. So I found that out way after the fact, and I was like, there's no way, there's a coincidence I'm here. And it's just a bunch of signs and different things that like kind of confirmed it. I actually found out my grandfather was actually in Morocco when he was younger, and I may actually have roots here.
Wow. Okay.
I found out on my mom's side, my grandfather, he has like Ethiopian in his family, and he came to Morocco at one point also. So yeah, it's just weird stuff. I actually seen somebody that looked like my grandfather too, and my brother at one point. I was like, yeah, it's just yeah, crazy things.
Wow, that's very deep and interesting, and seems like you've done a lot of meditating, and you hear from the divine creator is giving you the word to move into Morocco. And how long have you been there? And what has life been like in Morocco?
For the most part of, for the most part, like, what was that? The better of 2 years, about the better of 2 years. And you said, what is it like?
Yeah, what is life like in Morocco?
It's it's definitely different from America.
Yes.
There's pros and cons. There's pros and cons like everywhere. And of course, every area, every city, if you the more touristy areas are going to be different from the more rural areas. Like anywhere, you have your more ghetto areas. Um, it really depends where you go. Really, some places I love like Tangier.
Tangier, beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Tangier, Rabat. I love Rabat and Tangier.
Okay.
I want to go to Chefchaouen, but Casablanca I don't really like too much. It's more like New York City-ish. Certain spots, people they throw trash around like on the beach, and certain spots they don't care. They throw trash on the ground, and other spots are more clean. So it really depends where you go at.
Yes.
But as far as culture, you don't have to worry about getting shot up. They don't allow guns unless you rarely hear of anybody getting murdered.
Yes.
You don't really see a lot of fights. You think the food is amazing. The cost of living is low.
Yes.
The food is cheap. You can live depending on how you shop. If you depending on how you grocery shop. Like if you only eat fresh foods, you can really stretch $10-$20 a week. Yeah, there's a lot of beautiful parts. I still have to see Chefchaouen, the blue city they call it. Everywhere's painted blue.
Yeah,
they say Jews.
Yeah, that's like
they say Jews flee there.
Yeah, Tunisia also is. We lived in Tunisia, and they have a blue city. They have an area called the Blue City. It's beautiful.
Yeah, they say Jews fled there during persecution, and they painted blue for basically a symbol of freedom or something like that. I gotta look it back up, but yeah, there was Moroccan Jews around here in certain spots too. Also, yeah, Bedouin. There's a bunch of
Yeah, so there's a lot of
It's a mix.
It's
an amalgamation. Excuse me.
A lot of Bedouins. Did you say Bedouins?
Yeah, they have them out here too. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
And they have these dudes called what were those dudes called in the desert? Oh yeah, Berbers. They have Berbers that yeah, they live in the desert a lot of times. I actually went to the Sahara 2 years ago, and it was beautiful. Not what I thought a desert would be. It wasn't even that hot. It was later in the day, but rode some camels. It was like a tour type thing. They had like big tents out there, and where they lived at, and they had their own water place for a bathroom and a sink. Like they had a water reservoir out there. It was crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And I meant to mention this earlier, and it just crossed my mind. You and your wife have a YouTube, Wool Talk, is it? Beautiful Wool Talk.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about Wool Talk, please?
Okay, so it's on my YouTube channel. So to find my YouTube my handle is at Nazarite Soul. So NAZIRITE_SOUL. Short story, I'm a Nazarite, prescribed in number 6. So I don't know. I took a Nazarite vow after the Most High saved my life in I took it the year after that. The last Passover I took it. So yeah, Nazarite Soul, and we have a new series. We go live. It's called Wool Talk. So we came across. We were like blessed with some wool we found. So what we do, we basically we talk about everything but wool while we pick and clean wool. So we got into the art. Yes. We got into the art of basically picking and cleaning wool. We're attempting to make wool products and obtain more, and also we started working on shofars also, so we'll include that also in there. But we basically while we do that, we talk about various topics related to scriptures that you can use to better people's minds, bodies, and souls, and bring them closer to the Creator and closer to their true self. So different topics dealing with relationships, increasing your, getting healthier in various ways. Your healthier soul also, not just your body. And just different things. We got a bunch of different topics we want to talk on. Also,
Yes.
it's all Torah based, scripture related that we can back up with the scriptures also.
Yes, I was there and I enjoyed the wool talk. It was very peaceful and calm, and your beautiful wife, she explained some things about the wool and washing of the wool. I found that very interesting. It's just very beautiful. And like you said, the different conversations, and one stood out to me last week was your perception of the cookie crunch. I think you were saying, I can't remember too much because my phone was in and out. Could you tell us a little bit of that, what you were speaking about that day? You was talking something pertaining to life.
Oh yeah. So I posted a short of that on my channel too. So we had these cookies called I think they're called Sables or Sables, something like that. So they have like full chocolate ones, but this particular the time we ordered from this place called Resto Sante. So we ordered a box of these Smiley Sables. We was like, we'll try them. They have like chocolate in them,
Mm-hmm.
and the cookies over here are way healthier than American cookies. If you had the same thing over there, so we got these, and so I had the box on the bed for aesthetics, I guess. But when it came to the topic on that particular day was trials, refinement. Being refined through your tests and persevering, being strong through your tests, like Job, like Dawid when he was fleeing from Saul when he went through his trial after he like transgressed and he rose back up. Like Joseph when he was imprisoned for nothing. He was falsely accused and falsely imprisoned, but he ended up rising.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like Daniel in the lion's den, he persevered. He had his trust in the Most High, and he was a righteous man, and he didn't fold. Like the three Hebrew boys, they didn't bow to the idol. They served the Most High alone, and they didn't fold. And they were thrown in the furnace, and they were rescued. They literally they were like gold. So as gold goes through the furnace of affliction, they survived.
Mm.
They didn't burn. So that was basically the topic of the day. And I used the cookies that have a permanent smile on them, basically. So no matter how much you shake the box,
Yes.
or they know they're about to get eaten because they're cookies, or they're about to get dunked in some hot coffee, um,
Yes.
they still smile. Their
Yes.
smile is still on their face up until they're digested. Or
Right.
not digested. They lose their smile before that. And
Mm-hmm.
you shake the box, you might shake the box, and they might crumble up. They might break into little pieces, but that smile's still there somewhere.
Still somewhere.
Despite how many of their friends got eaten before him, the last one's still gonna be smiling. So you can bite his eyes off him, and he's still smiling.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. So likewise, we should take adversity cheerfully and know that we take advantage of our trials to get stronger and lean onto the Most High more than ourselves and more than ever.
Yes.
And
Well
prove
said.
ourselves.
Well said. I also see here, Brother Soul, that you are into trading. How long have you been trading? And is that something you started in America? You've taken that where with your travels, your trading?
Yeah. So I first started that. I got into that like late 2019, and I started off trading demo, and I kind of threw myself into the fire, which I don't recommend anybody doing, because I basically started a live account a few months after I first learned about it, so risking my own money and stuff. So yeah,
What
and
do
I
you
wasn't
mean
really
by,
established at the time.
not to cut you off, but what do you mean by throwing yourself into the fire? What would they do if they threw themselves like what?
So I started trading my own money, like
Hmm.
throwing the money every paycheck into it, and I wasn't experienced enough yet to do. I should have I should did more back testing on particular strategy and making sure I was more experienced and that I had a proven strategy with either a high win rate or a positive outcome over like 100+ trades, like a net positive. I just basically just threw myself in there without really knowing much, and yeah, there was a point I was still working at Amazon, and there was a point I turned what was it, like 60? I had $68 in my account, and I turned it to 2,100 in like
Oof.
2-3 weeks. I think it was like 3 weeks. And I stopped going to work. They had VTO, voluntary time off. So like for 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks, I stopped going to work. Because I thought I had it all figured out, and I had that's the trap. Like, you have a big head. Like, when you get overconfident in trading, especially that early in the game, and I didn't really, yeah, and I ended up I ended up losing that
Oh,
because
wow.
I just kept riding the bull run, and I just kept buying every pullback, and then it shifted to a bear market. Actually, the market crashed in 2020.
Mm.
And instead of catching on to what was happening, I kept buying when it dumped, and I should have been selling when it rose. So, like, yeah, I learned from that though. So, yeah, that was a
Wow.
long. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a lot more experienced now, and I have a few strategies in my playbook that I abide by. I'm a lot more disciplined and a lot more patient. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. So, trading, you have wool going on. It seems like you have a lot. Tell us about your, you have a website of beautiful products I've seen, necklaces, the Most High, caps. And
Yeah,
what's the name of your website or your business, you and your wife?
it's called Ruach. So the site, if you look it up, it'll be RUAKH .shop dot shop. So it's a biblical based online store. We have clothes, we have jewelry, all based on the scriptures. We have even now we just put, what was the last week or something, we put out welcome mats on the ground. Like,
Hmm.
when you walk to somebody's house and you see a mat, one says leaveth your sins at the door. There's a little funny things. We have what else we have? We just put out some plushies in representing the wool talk, so like little lambs, little lamb plushies.
Okay.
We call one Flocka and one Bob. So yeah,
Okay.
uh,
So
we
can
have a
you,
bunch of what else we got?
mhm.
Yeah, just we got a bunch of different things,
Okay,
but
tell us.
mainly clothing type stuff,
Okay.
blankets, prayer mat type stuff. Yeah.
Blanket. So, okay, can you tell us once again, run that website by us again in case someone wants to look into it and purchase or see what you have going?
Yes, Ruach dot shop, RUAKH .shop. So if you Google that or you put it in your browser, it should automatically take you there. But if you want to do the HTTPS thing, that works also. Yeah.
Okay.
So Ruach is basically a Hebrew word for spirit.
Spirit. Okay. Brother, so what has your biggest blessing, if I should say, quote unquote, have been since you've been outside of America?
Biggest blessing. I'd say the refinement I went through. I say that
Yes.
the tests and the trials I went through, really, which most people really wouldn't see it that way or say that.
Yes.
Um, I've grown a lot,
Mm-hmm.
mentally, spiritually, in every kind of way. I got closer to the Most High, especially the times when I was physically alone, and yeah, just really, I really had nobody around but the Most High,
But the
especially when I
Most
was
High.
like, yeah, going through and it really, a lot of people need that. Some people call it loneliness, but I don't see it like that because
Yeah.
I'm naturally like an introvert,
Mm-hmm.
recluse, lone wolf. I've
Mm-hmm.
been most of my life basically anyway, so I just saw it as an opportunity really to meditate, pray more, study more, and when there was times to when lean on the Most High more than ever, really know asking for strength when I needed it. The last Yom Kippur, I got 7 different prayers. That's the most I ever prayed in one day.
Mm.
Um, yeah, just yeah, I'd say my trials so far. I'd say my trials, but um, also being alone for the most part. I got my wife here now. She's been there for like 2 months now. She was going back and forth, so help her mom out and stuff like that. So yeah. So I'd say people need that time alone, really, and it helps you appreciate people more. Like, if you see people all the time, like your family, you might live with them all the time, and you take things for people for granted. And that's another thing I learned is like so a lot of things people take for granted in America. like they think it's like they're entitled to it because you can just turn your water on type stuff, or you have your especially depending on how good you have it, especially the rich people. A lot of things that people over here, especially if they don't have much that they'd appreciate, other people would take for granted. So I learned to appreciate a lot of things a lot more, especially like small wins. Instead of trying to get so much done in one time, like take it one brick a day, one step at a time. Um, the family unit over here also is seeing how families are over here, and of course, like it's not everybody, but it's more of a closeness over here compared to America, I'd say.
Yes.
And I'm sure other countries may actually even be better than Morocco. Morocco is probably the most liberal Islamic country, I think. So there's probably more strict ones, but they do more so value modesty in appearance, like
Yes.
apparel, covering up type stuff. The families eat together. They'll share a big. I've been with families. You meet strangers. They'll bring you to your house, and they'll
Yes.
feed you and stuff, and
Yes.
you'll eat a big bowl around the table and eat together and stuff like that. It's a lot different. Now, of course, you have your bad apples everywhere, but you know,
Yeah, that's the beauty
yeah.
of
So
being living outside of America. And I love rocking with Islam. You get a lot of negativity, but I've been taught so much. Just the 3 years I spent living amongst Islam, I've learned so much. And and that shatafa, boy, that's like just like number one. You just don't have that all in America like we have over in Egypt and Tunisia, like restaurants, McDonald's, anywhere you go. If you need to use a bathroom, you go get a shatafa. I just had to throw that in, brother. So my daughter loves the
yeah,
shatafa.
what I will say, if you're in Morocco, carry toilet paper with you everywhere, because
Yes.
some
Yeah.
some places don't have toilet paper.
You're right, right.
Some public bathrooms, yeah, just make sure you got that TP on you.
Yes, most note. Okay, so I want to shift here, brother. So that has been amazing hearing about your life outside of America and inside of America, your travels, and the beautiful works that you're doing for the Most High. All praises to Yahuwah. And I want to shift here and talk to you about you speak often here and there about the terrible accident that you were in and back in America, 100 miles per hour, which Yahuwah could have ended your life. Can you tell us about that amazing automobile accident that you survived, and tell us more about that?
Okay, so I knew this dude. His name was Taj. So I knew him before the incident. I knew him for like 2 years. He would. How I knew him was, well, I knew his brother Bryce. It was a friend of my younger brother. So I knew him through him also, and he made beats and he made music. So he made some beats for me because I was making music at the time, and he did some cover art for some of my songs. And we hung out sometimes. I went to his house to work on music, bonfire, stuff like that. So he was always cool. But this one time it was 2019 July 5th, I believe. I walked out of my job. I was just done with it. People weren't doing their jobs, and I didn't like the environment. People were weird. So walked out of my job, and then I ended up posting something on Facebook. I don't remember what it was, but he sees it and he messages me, and he asked me if I want to go to North Carolina with him. So and it was basically like supposed to be a getaway, and it was like because a lot of his friends did music also, so we are gonna go and basically some music stuff, and just go chill basically. Um, so he comes. He's supposed to come that night, so we're supposed to leave on the 6th, but he ends up coming really late, like around I'd say I think midnight. So he pulls up, and he always rode with a Bible on his dash, and so he pulls up, he gets out the car, and his Bible falls in the water, and he's like non-reactive to it. So I'm like, I pick it up from him and I put it in his car, but he's acting weird. He's like he's saying some weird stuff like his brother's not his brother anymore. In 10 days, his brother's gonna have $500,000 deal. He was saying there are people watching, like they could be a remote viewing they could be the birds or police officers and stuff like that. Hey, just like, weird stuff, leaving the Matrix type stuff. And my brother, I call him my brother. Shane was there, staying with me at the time, so he was outside also when he pulled up, and we were talking. And then he ends up saying, "Let me see your eyes." And he leans in and he says, "Ooh, they said you'd have those eyes." And I'm like, I don't even know what to say. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he never explains. So we end up going in the house. A pipe ends up bursting in my house, like in the bathroom. We had to get a plumber. I don't know how to explain that, but I don't know if it was energy on him or what he got into that week prior, because everybody said he was just acting weird that whole week. And he didn't. His mom and his brother were calling him, and he really didn't want to see them. Like, he did not want to see them for some reason. I think they did something to him, some kind of, I think it was some witchcraft type stuff. But he ended up, so we ended up getting a plumber to come fix the pipe in our wall. Here I am. And the pipe looked like an alligator mouth. Like, if they come up and open their jaws, like, that's what it looked like. And the plumber said he'd never seen that before in his life. So next day, we wake up and, we're getting ready to leave. It was the 6th of July, 2019. And then we're watching the video outside, eating breakfast. And he ends up saying, "I know who you are." And he never explains that either. So I had I don't know if it was a vision or just had a thought in my head of me getting chased through the woods before we left. And I just had an eerie feeling to not go. And my mom told me not to go. And I was thinking of bringing my my weapon at the time. But I ultimately just prayed to the Most High. I was like, just basically protect me to myself. I trust that he'll protect me. So we ended up leaving. We drive to North Carolina. He's on the ride up. He's talking about Mac Miller committing suicide. They had the same birthdays. Listen to all his sad music, rap songs and stuff. And I didn't connect it at the time. He talks about this one artist, this female that committed suicide. So we ended up getting to North Carolina around 11 p.m. He drives me around these places he used to live. And he said bad stuff happened here, and I could literally, I'm really receptive. I'm an INFJA. I'm really receptive to energies and stuff. So I could feel the negative energy around. So I had my 1611 KJV at the time on my lap, and I was just reciting Psalm 91, Psalm 23, or riding around, just praying over these places. We ended up seeing some boy outside, just random boy outside. Start telling him, you're an Israelite, keep the commandments of the Most High, stuff like that. And then we end up riding around. This other car is following us. It seems like it's following us for 15 minutes every turn we go. And we thought it was going to be a drive-by or something. So it ended up passing us at one point after we stopped. It was sitting there for a while, it was going to do something. But it drives past in this cul-de-sac. And it happens to be some lady he knew that knew his father named Tammy, coincidentally. And then we ended up talking to her. He gives her his Bible that he always had for years. And he hugs her. And, it's 3 a.m. We get on the highway. We're about to drive to, supposed to go to his friend's house. And I think at one point he said, "I love you," or something like that. So yeah, 3 a.m. And I'm in the passenger seat. He's driving. And then I'm trying to sleep. But I feel that feeling you get when you're on a roller coaster or you drive up a big hill and go down, or you're going really fast. I have that slight queasy feeling in my stomach, and I feel like we're going fast. And I turn, he's going 100 miles an hour.
Whoa!
And he's just staring at the road. And I get a lot more into my whole testimony in my book that I wrote, that I put out, but I'm trying to make it fit into the show. So driving, and now I ask him "Yo, what are you doing?" And he doesn't answer. He's just driving. And I'm just looking out the window. I just see the street just moving fast. And in my head, I'm just asking the Most High, I'm should I jump out? I'm should I jump out? I had a feeling what was gonna happen. And not too long after I was having those thoughts, what do I do type stuff, he says, and I don't know if it was him speaking. I don't know if it was the Most High in that moment or an angel of the Most High spoke through him to me at that moment to let me know that everything's going to be all right. But out of his mouth, he says, "It's okay. it's supposed. Don't worry, it's supposed to happen like this.
Okay.
Basically, it's supposed to happen like this. And oddly enough, after that, I kind of like had an acceptance what was gonna happen, and I had like a peace over me. It was weird, but they say like before you crash, it's better if you're loose and you're not like tensed up. So it was like I guess it was good. I had that peace on me. So we're going. There's a 35-mile-an-hour turnpike, 100 miles on the dash.
Wow.
And the article will attest to it. He just turns left, right into a guardrail, and right before we hit, I screamed the Most High's name that I knew at the time in Paleo Hebrew, and I wear it on my neck. I wear it on my neck right now. I have Psalm 119, 105. That word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path, and I have His name in Paleo Hebrew, the Tetragrammaton, the YHWH in Paleo Hebrew on my neck. So I screamed YAHUWAH right before we hit. I just screamed. I didn't know it. I couldn't do anything else. I just screamed YAHUWAH, and then we hit. Witnesses say we flipped twice, but from my perspective, it seemed like a movie. It seemed like time slowed down. It seemed like we were flipping very slowly, and I just remember saying in my head, "Not now, not now," because my mom lost her son, her youngest son, my younger brother, in 2016. He just turned 21. He was 3 months of being 21. So I was like just thinking about her losing him and about to lose me now. So I was just saying, "Not now, not now." And I remember flipping very slowly, and I don't know how to explain it, but it was like I was a baby in the womb. I remember seeing a yellowish, pinkish color, and just flipping slowly. And it's literally, if I can describe it, I felt like a baby floating. Like when you see the what EKGs or what do they call it?
The sonogram.
Ultrasound. When you see the ultrasound, yeah, sonogram in here. Like, or when you see one of those renditions on TV, a baby in the room, or like a cartoon, that's what it felt like. That's what I can describe it best as.
Deep.
So we end up landing. We end up landing. I just remember seeing a big light, and I know if I was alive or dead. I just remember seeing a big light out the windshield. So I pushed it out, and I pushed the glass out. I hop onto the light disappears when I push it. I hop onto the hood, jump out the car. The dude, mind you, he was like 6'8", 350, give or take. Very big dude. He got ejected. He flew out and he was laying on the street. He's reaching out to me like in agony, and I'm just irate. I'm like, I had a 2-inch gash on my head that I had to get 6 stitches on, and my prayer shawl that I lost like last month. I had a prayer shawl wrapped around my head before the crash, and I actually had the bloodstains still on it. I had like little blood leaking from my head, nothing too serious.
Praise God.
Though, praise the Most High. Yeah, the seatbelt, I guess it came off at some point, and it came off so fast and so hard that I had like a burn mark on my left arm. Yeah, my wife actually reminded me about it like a couple weeks ago. She was like, "What is that on your arm?" I was like, "Oh, that's what that was from." Yeah, so then I'm just like going off on them. I don't want to cuss on the show, but I was just like going off on them, like he tried to kill me. And 2 witnesses saw it, and I actually had one of the witnesses as a Facebook friend still.
So all of this was planned out. I actually believe
his name.
Well, did he planned this? He planned to destroy both of you, him and himself. This is what he was going to do.
That's what it seemed like, but I honestly don't think it was him. I honestly think he got into something, or his family did something to him, so that he died, so they'd get a deal. Because he said his brother in 10 days would have a $500,000 deal, and his brother's doing very well, good right now in real estate type stuff.
Wow.
And he didn't seem really too sad at the funeral, according to my wife, because she knew the guy from like high school. So that's how I met her, because after she saw the news about him dying, she saw my name, and so she looked me up to see if I was okay. So that's how we met on Facebook, and then we met like a year and 4 months later. So yeah, it seemed like that's what he was doing, but I don't charge him with that, because I don't think he had control of himself. I think they did some kind of demonic stuff to him. I really do, because he was acting weird that whole week. He was a bunch of people that knew him were saying that he was acting different, and he would never do something like that.
Wow.
So I don't know if he got into something. I don't know if the Most High, the Most High, like he's the chess master of everything. He'll allow certain things to happen for his will.
Yes.
And my testimony, was meant to, I was meant to live. I was meant to,
Yes.
tell my stories for other people, to bring other people to Him, and the power of calling on His name. Because saying Joel in the KJV in Joel 2:32, it says, "All who call on." In that verse in English, it says, "The Lord," LORD in caps. But if you read the Hebrew in that verse, Joel 2:32, it says, "All who call on YHWH, Yahweh, all who call on Yahweh shall be delivered."
Yes.
And that's what I did. I'm a living testimony to that. So,
Yes.
however it went, whether it was him or he had some kind of control over him, or it was just who knows. It was it's happened for a reason, and I'm still here, and I've had other people try to want to take me out for no reason, and I'm good. I got His angels encompass me, so I'm good.
Yes. Wow. That is that's a testimony, like in itself. It's just a testimony of how calling upon that great name, there is power in that name. Yahweh. Yeah. And how serious were your injuries? You said you had a couple of gashes, 6 stitches, or were you able
Yeah,
to
just a 2 inch.
walk
Yeah,
afterwards?
yeah,
Or?
yeah. Just a 2 inch gash. I had to get 6 stitches on.
Wow.
Um, no broken bones. I could walk
Mm.
fine. No,
Mm.
nothing. No, nothing. Not one bone broken. Just a gash. I guess as a scar, as a reminder or a sign or proof. The worst thing I'd say was the PTSD I had,
Yes.
and so like I guess the adrenaline wore off. So like there was a point where I couldn't sleep for 3 days. Like a couple of days after, there was like a period I could not sleep. And at the time, I was smoking, smoking Mary Jane. So it would start giving me anxiety. And
Mm.
sometimes I'll just break into anxiety attacks for nothing. If it literally, I looked it up and it was literal heart attack symptoms. I was
Mm.
literally like, I had to go to the hospital at one point. I thought I was having a heart attack.
Wow.
So, and this went on for like a month, something like that. But what it did, the good thing about that, it was like a blessing in disguise. Like having these symptoms, having like felt like I was going through hell, and not being able to sleep, feeling like death was like upon me. And what it did was, I have where I was living at in Florida, I had a decent sized backyard, and it got me starting to go outside and literally just crying to the Most High on my hands and knees, on my face. And I was just begging. I was just begging them to like not let me die. I was like, take
Mm.
this away from me. This feeling, like this anxiety, just anxiety attacks every day for nothing.
Wow.
It felt like having a heart attack, having a stroke. And I was like, yeah. And I was, and he took it. It made me
Exactly.
stronger, and he took it from me.
Now.
And 2 months after that crash, I was working at Amazon,
Oh, wow.
and there was a worker at Amazon. Actually, he got into a crash also, nowhere near as severe as mine.
Mm.
But he had to get driven to work from his mom. He could
Mm.
not drive because of his PTSD he had. But I literally had somebody try to kill me. And 100 miles an hour, he just got into like a regular old crash.
Wow.
He couldn't drive. I was driving to work, to back and forth
Exactly.
from work. Like nothing happened. So yeah, I'll praise the Most High.
Praise the mighty Yahuwah. Well, this has been, I'm sorry, but time has flown. I only have like 50 minutes. Is there anything
All
you'd
right.
like to say in closing, Brother Soul? It's like 5:50 and I'm just going to end with a song, and we will have you back again on the YHWH radio show if you will be my guest. And if you'd like to come back in the future, I'd love to have you. This was an amazing, time just flies when you're having these great conversations, and especially this car crash and how the Creator saved your life. Wow. Anything you'd like to add before we leave? And I crank up this song.
Yeah, of course I'll be back whenever you want me to. As long as time, as long as I don't got nothing going on. But yeah, I was just gonna say, all praise to the Most High Yahweh, Him and Him alone.
Yes.
Keep his law, statutes, and commandments. Walk with humility.
Yes.
Seek justice and peace.
Mm-hmm.
Stay balanced. Only do what you have to do when you have to do it. But don't be evil. Just
Don't be
defend yourself.
evil.
If the only time. Yeah,
Yes.
if you're gonna defend, if you're gonna attack somebody, let it be because you're defending your life or somebody else's because of justice.
Well said.
And just keep his ways, and all praise to him, and peace and blessings upon you and your daughter and your family. and may he bring you all the blessings that you deserve, and everything you ask for, and the desires of your heart, and wake his remnant up and bring us back home immediately.
Yes, praise YAHUWAH. All praises to the
Praise
Mighty
Yah.
Yah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Okay, Brother Soul, we're going to have you again in the future, and I'm going to crank this up and let them have the radio here.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Great. Praise Yah. So we're going to play this little song. I wrote this little song back in Washington, D.C. before leaving. I'd like to close with this. And Brother Soul, that was a beautiful interview. All righty. Giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to the Holy One of Israel, the Ancient of Old, the Most High YAHUWAH, our Creator. You said, if I seek you, Yah, then I will find you. So I begin to seek you. I found Yahweh. I found Yahweh. I found Yahweh. Yes, I did. I found Yahweh. And ye shall seek me and find me, when ye shall search for me with all your heart. Jeremiah 29:13. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee, for thou, Yah, hast not forsaken them that seek thee. Sing praises to YAHUWAH, which dwelleth in Zion. Declare among the people his doings. Psalms 9:10-12. For what nation is there so great, who hath Elohim so nigh unto them, as Yah our Elohim, and all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great, that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day? Praise Yah. Deuteronomy 4:7-9. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if you obey the commandments of Yah your Elohim, which I command you this day, and a curse if you will not obey the commandments of Yah your Elohim, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known. Deuteronomy 11:26-28.